I'm Chris Thomas, and this is Master Class.
What this really is understanding the principles again. So this is off of the same way every other people show knife techniques. You know, the guy's got the knife up here in the throat, on your throat. If you want to work this, I was telling Nick this, you know, get a magic marker. Get a red magic marker and put it up there, you know, and if you have no cut or a tiny cut, understand that was a good technique, your red mark. If you got a big red line on your neck, fix your technique. You try not to make the lateral movements, the side-to-side movements, because that's what the human eye picks up. And it comes back to the most basic things that we talked about before about grabbing. You don't try to grab crosshand like this because that side of the brain sees it coming and it moves. You're too slow. This side it sees too late. So even if it's a gun technique, pretend you have a gun. People teach to use both hands and do something like this, right? Yeah, right? Well, it's getting there because this hand is becoming involved. But if this hand is moving at the same time, it sees all it takes is that trigger finger. You can't move both of these at the same time. This one has to stay stationary and this moves. It's that type of movement. And practice this with an airsoft gun and goggles on. See if you get shot in the face or not, right? Do this, you're going to get shot in the face every single time. I don't care how you're it's too slow, it's too late. Right, do the knife. So then the same thing with this. If the knife's up against here, this, in my opinion, one is still too slow because I crossed his field of vision, but I moved right into that shot. It's a knife. The only reason you're not stabbed or dead yet is because they want something, right? So you've got to. Sensei Chris used to play that field about being, you know, acting scared. You know, this is what the trick is get this past this plane, and then it's not a side-to-side movement. This is just going to come straight back and roll. That's all this hand does. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That's where you move. So this one doesn't move, it's the rotation. Now, you do not have him locked, you do not have him trapped. You have a slight pin, right? It's a pin for a second. That's why this hand better be doing something. It's a freaking knife. Understand your levels of use of force. He's got a knife. Yeah, it's a lethal situation. When you feel me move, you cut or whatever, right? Yeah, there you go. That's still moving and getting right into me. Now, same thing. If I come watch this way, as soon as you see me move, you move. It's faster than this, but I still have not as much control. You break that plane a little bit, so same thing. This now, you've got this shot, boom, and you're locking it straight in. I'm actually focusing on lung 7, right? So where the energy goes from lung into large intestine, I'm focusing on that to rake into the rest of it. But it's that roll back. There's nothing else. It's straightforward. Oh my God, no, no, no. Straight back. All right? If it's on this side, it's not this to come across. Even though this is on this side of my neck, closer to this hand, it's still about his vision, not mine. This is still crossing over in order to get that turn. It's from this side, get your hands all, and then it's that rotation. Think you're really, you're palming with this hand, but this one's got to come back, okay? This side, same thing, but this is right there. Feeds right into it. Watch this hand. So only work with this hand for a minute. The idea, this one needs to be a little bit closer, but this hand can't be out here, no other position. And it's The only position it does is when it gets into position here, put it up against my neck. This comes from here and moves straight back. That's all you do. Now again, understand, it's not a lock or a trap, you know? And you're pulling this way, he's trying to fight it coming this way. It's coming back at your face. That's why you better be doing something else over here. But for right now, don't focus on anything other than this hand goes close. It goes close to this hand. Oh my God, you can even be touching it. Oh. And then right there, it sticks and rolls back. There's no other movement. If they see, I mean, they're already, you know, even if they're not nervous, you know, they're a seasoned veteran at assaulting people with knives, you know, the second that they see something, they might cut, you know. So it's no. Just here and straight back. I am not turning his hand by turning mine. I'm letting the roll of the bone do it. Come that locked in, okay? So you don't want to come around. It's fast, it's good, you know, and you have control. You have much more control holding him this way where it's not going to slip out and hit you. But my fear is that they see this is still a 1-2. This is a 1. So when you're working with it, then it's just that shot right up and in there. Yeah? Come into your stomach. If in the beautiful world, perfect world, we want to be out here, right? This is the best spot to be in to get to. So the one time, the only real knife technique or anything that I had happen, I went to the inside. So I was still, you know, this is not the place that I want to be. It's not the place I ever teach to be. But when I saw it, I went like this, and I was stuck on, I was stuck on the inside. So the movement, though, is essentially the same. It's all about this. It's this type of thing. It's not like that drill I was showing you before. Here, go for my stomach. We would do this. Now take that hand and slap my hands off. Yep, and you pull that back and then shoot for number 6. So then we do this. Slap my hand. Come back over here for number 7. Swing it around. Yeah, and poke. Then we do this and slap it off. So that would be the drill, and you come back in here for 5. So that was the move, just to get back and forth. So first was learning how to poke. Then it was us learning how to maneuver. And this was especially important because you're using the back of the hand to come over here. Professor taught so you made sure you had this angle this way and this angle this way, because it kept the blade flat, not this way, you know, to skip off a rib and go in, skip off a rib and go in. So that's the idea of why these are here and why you're crossing over and using 2 bones to come in there, you know. So that pulls over, you know, you swing that around and it comes over this side, right? So that's the play drill back and forth. But then Professor would also have us do things like push or poke, where we would just turn and come in. Poke. So you're hollowing out, getting out of the way, and turning out of the situation. But the drill for that, put it in this hand, the drill for that would be here, and then we would come back and cut and move into other techniques and do different things, right, or do disarms with it. But in reality, when you get something like this, I want you guys, so we're going to go inside and outside. I'll do the inside here so you guys can see. But pass this and close that gap. So now it comes back to exactly every single thing that we've done. All you did was hollow out, turn your body, got the knife somewhat out of the way, but then you lock your elbow in so the elbow is holding onto the hand, and this is holding onto his elbow, whatever you can get a hold of. This is here, and that's pulling. Now you go to work on whatever it is that I don't care what your technique is. Now you start going to work. But here you have this held and controlled, you know. You twirl the knife around and poke me, whatever. You twirl the knife around and poke me, you know. I'm going to get little tiny surface cuts. I'm not getting jammed in the back, you know, with it. That's one of the things, like if they teach with with the knife. And here's another big thing why I have a problem with this. Is when they teach you to do this, I have no control of it. They in here and then turn that hand towards me and start stabbing me. You know, it comes right back into it. So it's again that idea. But if you have it this way, you have control of that knife. Make sense? That's why we don't come up and grab with it. So what I want you guys doing is at first maybe put it on your stomach. You know, get some pressure pushing in, and come in and turn, and then come in and grab. Then you can go to the outside here, come in and grab. That essentially, if anybody does jiu-jitsu, then that essentially turns into the same thing as an arm drag, but it's that movement when you're doing something in kata. It's that movement. If you work with cops, this is the movement that they need. The same thing with their elbow over the pistol. This move is very powerful, important, and if all the techniques that we were doing earlier today with rolling and turning and pulling, it's that same concept. Start with the stabs, get these locks in here, and start moving. From this position, understand your mindset, because it's a knife. Now is a realistic situation. You better be, whatever you're freaking bite his shoulder, I don't care what you do something. When I did this, several years I thought I did it wrong, and professors, he's like, oh, Dusty, but you are alive. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I got cut, professor. And then he's like, and all growing up, you're always looking at professor's forearms, but he's like, look at my arms. I mean, that professor had freaking cuts on his. He's like, you're gonna get cut, He's like, it's just, are you gonna survive? So when I got cut, it sliced that part over, but at least it wasn't in my stomach, right? But I went to the inside. That was just my reaction out of there. So inside, outside, whatever the case is, just make sure that you grab, and it's this. This is yours. The second that you let this elbow get loose, now he's got something that he can do. The idea, that hooks and that's yours. Bam! Whatever it is that you're going to do. You don't let go of this thing until he's broken and he's fallen down. If the height difference, or your hands are down where you're coming in, or maybe this is a little bit higher, where it doesn't make sense to be doing this, it's essentially being set up just like this. It's, Ed Lake called it grabbing without grabbing. Anything, we come in and we hold, right? Because you hold on, think of it without the knife, it was a punch. I do this, his natural instinct is going to be to try to freaking torque it back. Well, give it to him, let him have it back. This is the same thing though. If it's here, it still comes into this, and then it's locked in this position, right? Now it comes back to all the basic things that we just did earlier, doing your throws. This is the same as this. It all still works. Even if I'm up in here a little bit closer, as long as you've got this tight, you're not getting that, he's not getting that thing back. And it's that to him. Does that make sense? All right, so if you see the height difference, if your hand gets stuck underneath, don't think that you're doing it wrong. And again, a training method. Stab me. Do it again. Dude, if you screw it up, you freeze right here. What did I do wrong? You look at it, and then you figure out how to make it work from there. Don't go, do it again. Every time that you reset yourself, you're not learning how to fix the problem when the problem gets screwed up. Understand? It's one of the tactics that we use on the firing range and everything. You can't stop and say, let me redo this, because now you're starting over from the beginning when it's perfect. You need it screwed up, and all right, what did I do? How do I fix it? Start it from that process, or from that point where you have it messed up. Freeze, look at it. How did I get here, and how do I fix it from here? And then that will continue. Those mess ups will get smaller and smaller and smaller. you doing in there, baby? Is Mama twitching you around? Mama's twitching you around?